date. It's, you know, it's starting and ending on the same date. Service type, there we go, case management. Provider specific, as usual, we don't use. You can put in any notes you need. Service costs, number funding sources we don't use. Number of units, we're giving them 1 unit of case management. It's gonna be, let's say it's a 15-minute case management consultation. Now this is where we have a change. In the past, we used to put in, it used to be called cost of units, and that was it. And you'd put in the total cost of units for everyone. Now it's cost per unit. So that's kind of easier because that's more of a way that we think, and then the computer can do the math and figure out the total cost of units. So let's say that in our cost of units for a 15-minute case management session is, let's say it's $20. Okay. Scrolling down, and this is all in the checklist. I'm going to change the status to closed. Save and exit. Okay, and then it pops up. All right, it's 0.5 because there are 2 people. There's John and Thelma, so it's split it into 2. Let's go back to dashboard so we can take a look at that service in more detail. And again, it's the same as before. This hasn't changed. It's always giving you a need and a service. So, and we want to edit the service or take a look at the service. So let's look at this. Here's something else new. Include additional household members. Remember, in the old system, if you forgot to check off Thelma, too bad. You're going to have to delete the service and start all over and remember to add Thelma. Now we're actually able, I mean, please don't forget to add Thelma, but if you do, it is possible now to include additional members after the fact. But everyone's checked off, so we don't need to. But you do have that option now, so that's helpful. So for our case management service, I just want you to see what it does down here with your total cost after you do it. So we put in 1 unit, it's given it 0.5, so it's 0.5 for John, and it's also going to be 0.5 for Thelma. Unit type stays there. Cost per unit we put in was 20, and it's now telling us the total cost of units is $10. And that's because it's $10 for John and $10 for Thelma, because it's splitting the costs across everyone who got the service. Okay? And the rest is as you expect. So let's exit. And now we're going to add, this is a shelter plus care, so we need to give them housing. So I've clicked add a service because we're going to give them housing. Work from top to bottom. As usual, you see John's checked off, Thelma's not. We want everyone getting housing. Moving on down, this is shelter plus care. Start date 1/3/2013. End date is what? It's going to be the end of the month. Housing is given on a monthly basis. 31/2013. Okay, so from today till the end of the month. Service type, homeless permanent supportive housing. So they're getting the housing service. Again, it's not used. Number of units, 1 unit of housing, 1 rental month of housing. So this is the how many of what? So 1 rental month, and the cost in this program for 1 month of housing for this 2-person household amounts to, let's just say, $660. Okay. Total cost of units, it doesn't let you type in because it's going to figure that out. All right. Moving on down. Closed. Save and exit. Let's go back to the dashboard and view what we have. We now have homeless permanent supportive housing given on 1.3 and case management given on 1.3. And let's just take a quick look at our permanent supportive, make sure it looks right. Yep, we gave it to Galton, we gave it to John and Thelma. The dates are good. Again, it split it. So half a rental month. Cost per unit is $660. That's what we put in, but it's now saying the total cost of units is $330 for John, and it's going to also be $330 for Thelma to add up to $660. So that's correct. All right, so exit. Okay, we're almost done here. We've enrolled them and given them a service, so the next thing to do is exit, right? So let's say this is a brand new day. I'm even gonna log out, log back in. Okay, check your everything, and they're exiting on January the 31st, 2013, 12 a.m. Always leave the time alone. All right, so verify, that's good. Client point, just type in the ID, submit, and there they are. Okay, verify it from your file, 821.2068. Verify the information, go to the households, make sure their information is in there, because you may not have been the person who put it in, so you make sure it's correct. You go to manage household, take a look at it. Okay, Galton, date of birth, all looks good. Check Thelma, looks good. Exit, go to entry exit, because we're now going to exit them. And click on the pencil. All this is pretty much standard from before. Now here's a big change. When you exit, it's now the same logic as when you enter them in a program. It used to be everyone was checked off an exit by default. No more. It's now just like entry. Only the head of household is checked off. So you want to make sure everyone who's exiting is checked off. Then you scroll down, exit date, verify. Yep, that's what I have in my back date. This is when they're exiting. Reason for leaving, let's say they completed the program. Destination, let's say they are going to rent with no subsidy. And save and continue. When you save and continue, it now gives you the household information, and then it's giving you an exit assessment to complete for each client. So let's start with John. John Galton, housing status, literally homeless, and that is from 1/3/2013. So we need to update that, because as of 1/31, he's no longer literally homeless. He is in fact stably housed. Okay. Income received from any source. On 1/3 it was no, but it's actually yes now. So on 1/31, this is what it's going to stamp this yes as. We are now going to add the income he's getting, and let's say he's getting $2,500 a month from earned income. Start date, we'll say it's 1/31. End date open, because he's making that. However, you have to think, when you look at the data, you have to think about what it means. We're saying he had no financial resources on 1/3, and there's no end date. So that means this is still in effect. In fact, it's not, because on 131 he's now having earned income, so we need to close out this record. So you have to use some common sense when you look at these and put in the correct answer. So since he's getting his earned income starting on 131, we will end his no financial resources on one day before that. So 1/30/2013. Save. Okay, and when you save it, just take a look at it again, make sure it makes sense. Okay, yeah, it's telling a story. Well, he had no income, and then on the 31st, ended on 30th, 31st, he started getting 2,500 a month. That's why this is now yes, and it was no during this time period. Okay, non-cash, we'll say there's no change there. It's still no, so there's no need to change it. It's still no. And save. Okay, once you've saved, scroll up. We're going to answer for Thelma. What's her housing status? She is now stably housed. Income, we'll say her income situation stays the same. It's still no. She's still getting no financial resources. It's still in effect. Non-cash, yes, she's still getting S-chip. It's still in effect. There's no end date. And save. Scroll up. If there was another one, click on them. Same thing. It's pretty simple. I think this workflow is more intuitive. So we're done. And when we're done, then you do your save and exit. Okay, it now shows your exit date. So they were in the program 1/3, they exited 1/31. Client count is 2. And if you want to check who exited, good. They're both showing up. Client count shows them. And that is it. Those are the changes. This is the new workflow. If you have any questions at all, and I mean there are no stupid questions, because if you don't ask and then you have to clean up 100 records, that's not fun. So like I always say, give us a call. We're very happy to help, always. Do some practice in the training site. We're going to go live on March the 8th, so the training site is open with the new version. Go in there, do some of the practice scenarios. Where are those? Checklists. There you go. You've got a practice scenario 1, practice scenario 2. You can do the test again in the site. So you've got a lot of resources in here that you can use. Print out your checklist, print out your training manual, use that until you're completely familiar with the new system. And like I said, give us a call. Happy to help all the time. All right, hope this was helpful, and good luck, and have a good week. Bye.